deck, your running gear hanging off the back, and the straps are just holding you upright. So I'll place you so that your sling mark is right at the back of the deck, so anything that drops right below is off.
I don't know if we're gonna fit.
We're here at Buckhorn. We've been taking a lot of videos here because it's been a kind of zoo, so kind of took this morning to take some videos while it's quiet. So it's the last 2 days here, Saturday and Sunday. This lock is very popular. The water here is beautiful. The weather is getting nice and warm during the day, and people have been swimming a lot, and there's been endless stream of ski boats and jet skis and just party boaters heading over to this lake over here called I can't remember what it's called now, but it's very beautiful here. There's a little town with 2 stores, a hardware store, ice cream shop, pizza parlor, liquor store, and this place up here, the Cody Inn, is a very, very good Chinese restaurant. We had lunch there Saturday afternoon. So this is lock 31 of 45, so we still got a few more to go. And it's very tranquil here this morning, but this weekend was a pretty happening spot. All these boat docks are full. So this morning we're heading off for a couple hours up the Trent-Severn to a marina. We're going to get water and pump out. We don't really need fuel. And then we'll go through a couple of more locks, and then we'll stop at another place, I think Bob Cajun or something like that, for the day. Just taking it easy. And this is Buckhorn, lock 31. It's an early morning, Monday, and we're on the very north end of Buckhorn Lake. It's very pretty here. You see it's pretty desolate. Not much around, except a few boats, Riker and No Agenda up there. And we still have these little rocky islands. I haven't seen any houses or anything, so it's keep going farther north. Got a few more days on the Trent-Severn. We have about 12, 13 locks to go, including the Big Chute. But the channel's well marked. The charts on our instruments are all accurate. They show all these little islands and the rocks. It's just rocks sticking up. So I'm gaining confidence in being able to navigate through these waters and not hit one of these rocks.
So we just left our lock wall at Rosedale. We weren't able to lock through last night, so we had to wait and lock through this morning. So it took us a while to get it all done. But we are now on Balsam Lake, and the wind has picked up. It feels good, but we're hoping to get through this lake so it doesn't before it gets too rough. So we've entered the Trent Channel. We had to call a security to let them know that we were coming through. We held off a little bit out in the lake, waiting for another boat to come out eastbound, and now we're going through westbound. Wow. It is super narrow and exhausting, as Riker says. So this is stunningly beautiful. But I didn't think we could get more narrow than Dismal Swamp, and we are. This is super tight. Oh my gosh. You have to call ahead a security to let people know that you're coming, and that way, because there is absolutely no way that you could pass somebody in here. We have 3 boats behind us. We're actually in the channel now that goes to the Kirkfield lift lock. So we can tell on Nebo that No Agenda and 2 other boats are at the lift lock. Now, that's just who's on Nebo. We don't know who else is there. They're waiting for the lift lock right now. We're on the final channel that gets to the lift lock. So I don't know if we'll be able to get there on the same lift as them. It'd be great if we could. Last year, in 2022, this lift lock is the one that broke, is my understanding. And they never could get it repaired. And so people had to turn around and go back. And all the way down the Trent-Severn, is my understanding. It was towards the end of the season, and they said, we're not going to get it fixed this season. This year, it is still not completely repaired, but one of the basins is okay. So that one basin is the only one that goes up and down. Okay, we are in the lift lock. We are in the Kirkfield lift lock. We've got 2 in front of us. No Agendas beside us. We're gonna go down. Riker's beside us to our starboard side. And then we have a small boat behind us. So we're at the top of the lock right now. And we'll be going down. We are definitely in farmland now.
Well, it's a Thursday morning, and it was a rainy night. We're here in Orillia, Canada, the Nashville of Canada, they tell us. And we're in a very enclosed marina here with a little opening out into the lake that attaches to the big lake, Simcoe, which we crossed yesterday, and it was very calm. And it's calm in here today, but it's going to be rainy all day, I think. We've got 3 more locks and the big chute, they call it, where they put you in a sling, like they take you when you take you out of the water and lift us up over a mountain. We've got those to do, and we'll be into Georgian Bay. We're kind of here for probably Sunday or Monday because we're too big to go on the lift, the sling lift, this big chute on the weekends. So we have to get there Monday to do it.
I keep talking about how late it stays daylight here. We are in Orillia, Ontario. And it is 9:15 at night, and it is, the sun's down, but it is still very, very bright outside. This is a great marina. This is called Port of Orillia. The city is right here. You are just right in the city. Wonderful marina, great amenities here, including free laundry. So, and we are right at the entrance of the marina here. We came off of this little lake yesterday. We had a big storm overnight, and but everything was good. Each of these slips holds 2 boats, but these are probably the widest double slips that I've ever seen. They're really, really nice. Lots of room between us. We were there several days, and we went downtown every day. They had all kinds of artwork out, and we went shopping and lots of really good restaurants, so we were able to do that. There was also a really good bakery called Mariposa Bakery, and the area was just really a nice area to
lively.
It was.
It was lively. It was lots of stuff, and then Laura stood in front of some wings that could have been painted a little lower to the ground.
I had to go on tippy toe.
But it was cute. They had lots of art stuff around.
And this is the Opera House. They had a play going on while we were there, but it was sold out. We weren't able to go.
And on the front of the Opera House is a statue to Gordon Lightfoot, which is Orillia's his hometown, and he was a great songwriter. And this is just some of the streets. You can see there's just endless little shops.
They had the Scottish Festival there on the Saturday. So we were able to go to that. We saw the parade and the bagpipes from different areas in this province, I guess. And then they had a little fair area that was put together well.
Where are you headed today?
We are headed to the Big Chute. How about y'all? Really? Where's that at?
Just around the corner.
Oh, really? That's okay. Okay, we're off up here. Tell me what you need. We've got people here.
Okay, we're just gonna back up.
Okay, he says we're just gonna back up. So,
Okay. Good job.
thank you. So we had a really great time in Orillia. It was nice to just stop and relax for a while. We had planned on stopping at Bob Cajun and also the Finland Falls.
And Lovesick.
But all of those places were full, not just of loopers. There were a lot of local people too. So all of those lock walls had been full. So we were glad to be someplace and stop for a little while and just enjoy the area. So as we were leaving this dock, I realized I'm a lot less nervous than I used to be whenever we get off of docks. Like I said, it was a really wide slip, and Chris is doing such a great job. And I just am getting it's getting easier for me. I don't get as nervous, and I don't get as flustered as I used to.
We've got a lot of experience, and it's starting to show.
I hope so. I hope so. As we're heading out, we're going to go through 2 locks and then the Big Chute, and then one last lock at Severn, and then we'll be done with locks.
We are leaving Orillia this morning. Backed out of the slip. Riker is right in front of us, and another boat I don't recognize.
So I feel like I'm getting really good at handling the lines and storing them and everything. Chris calls them ropes, but you're supposed to call them lines because we're on a boat. The weather was just beautiful. We had that one rainy day in Orillia, but other than that, it's just been such gorgeous weather. It's cool in the morning and in the evening, and it gets kind of warm during the day, but it's, you know, I just enjoyed it immensely.
We never did see the
Northern Lights.
Yeah, we were supposed to see the Northern Lights, but it was too much light pollution. And then as we were pulling out, this seaplane lands right in front of us, which was fun. Touchdown. There were a lot of seaplanes around, but we didn't see very many actually flying.
We got held up at this railroad swing bridge waiting for 2 trains to come by. There's about 7 or 8 of us that were waiting there. All right, we have a passenger train going by. That's the one we were waiting for. I don't know how long it'll be to open the bridge, but once it's passed, we were told that those were the only 2 trains that we were waiting for. The bridge is opening. All right. We only had to wait here 45 minutes? Chris says 30. Oh, okay. So we are clear to go. Fantastic. We've had comments from Chris's Uncle Scott that we always have video of us waiting for a bridge, but never of us going through the bridge or past it. So this segment here is for Uncle Scott.
And you see why it's boring. That's why we take it out. It's just us driving by a hunk of metal. But I can't wait for him to come visit us.
I never get tired of this scenery. So we're in this cottage area and you see these big cottages, and then you go around the corner and then there's smaller ones. They're just so interesting and so beautiful to look at. And then of course we get into an area that's more open water, that's big lakes and
More wilderness.
And I don't know, it's just gorgeous. There's different areas, and this area is starting to get prettier and prettier. I think probably as we're getting closer to the Georgian Bay.
Yeah, and then you get into this, like, there's just nothing. It's, you know, these rocky shores. There's no way you could put a cottage here. It's just too rocky. And it gets more rocky. So, but it's starting to flatten out, as you can see, as we get closer down to Georgian Bay.
We'll get you guys coming in front center. Once you've pushed off from the blue line, we'll ask you to please bring all bumpers up on deck. You can come in back center. Just raise all your fenders up on deck before you enter the carriage.
So,
Right here.
so we don't actually grab you with the straps necessarily where the sling mark will be. What we do is we sit you right down on the deck with a boat of this weight. So you'll be sat right down on the deck. Your running gear hanging off the
Okay.
back, and the straps are just holding you upright. So I'll place you so that your sling mark is right at the back of the deck. So anything that drops right below is off.
I don't know if we're gonna fit.
Oh, you'll be fine.
Oh, she says we'll be fine. She's done this before.
A few times. Keep going forward. You got about another 12 feet to go.
I am standing on the strap mark right here.
Okay. Keep going forward. there, Skip.
Okay, stop. This is
Yep.
on.
Give another shot forward.
Another shot forward. Okay,
Good.
got it. That's it.
So I'm going to get you in just a second to give me another shot forward.
You can give her another shot forward in just a second.
Yep.
All right, no? Okay. Okay.
Good.
Okay, that's good.
Keep it idle.
We're in idle. She hasn't decided yet.
Okay, yeah, you can shut it off.
Okay, we can turn off the engine?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to be sat right down on the deck. I'm slowly lowering you down on the deck right now. The carriage is driving out of the water.
I was a little worried about this Big Chute because we have some heat exchangers that come off the bottom of the boat, and I really wanted to make sure those were not going to be affected by those straps or touch this carriage in any way. But they were very good. They had a good plan, was just to keep all that stuff off the carriage and just hold you up there, sort of. And so it wasn't bad at all. It was a little bit rocky, you know, and rolly.
The back quarter of our boat was hanging off.
Yeah.
The back of the carriage, so that made me super nervous.
Yeah, we were sitting on the ground, sitting on the bottom of the carriage, everything past the back sling area. But you can see we came up and went over this big hill, and they tried twice to make a lock here, but it was too expensive, and they never could blow up all this rock. It was just solid rock, so they finally decided to just make a train track to go over. And it was quite an experience. Apparently this is the biggest one in the world. And then they got us bound and rolled. And the train tracks go into the water, so the carriage just flows into the water. And then once you're at the proper depth, it Riker just took off, and we followed right behind it. And the current was really strong, carrying us away, so we had to be careful not to go up on the rocks and getting swept up on the rocks, because right next to us is the chute. That's what they call it, the Big Chute that the water is going through. I guess they have a little power plant there.
Fill this up, because jet skis just sit right down on the deck.
It was a...
Beach it on the bottom.
Were you scared?
Yes. We stayed the night there, and the day before we watched a couple other trips over the hill, and that made me even more nervous. I probably shouldn't have done that. But
And then we were the first to go through the next day. We moved over and got in line once they closed that afternoon.
yeah, we got on the blue line. I'm glad we did it, but I'm also very glad it's over.
But they're very good, and it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, and their plan of letting you sit on the bottom were great.
Have a great rest of your day, guys. Thank you.
Right after we exited the Big Chute, we heard a security being called by this boat that you see here passing us on the left. And then we had to call a security because we were entering a small channel with not very much room to pass. And a security is when you say, hey, we're fixing to do something, and other boaters need to be warned. There's no room to pass. So if you're in the channel, say so, and we won't enter the channel. And if nobody responds, then you enter the channel. And if they hear you, they're on the other end and they're fixing to enter, they'll wait there just like we waited on this end until we passed them and the channel was now clear. I wish these pictures really conveyed how absolutely gorgeous this land is up here. The water is super clear. You can see the rocks coming down from the bank. You can see there's nothing here. It's just trees and wilderness, and the sky's beautiful. And then you turn the corner and there's some more cottages, but it's absolutely beautiful. It's super clean. There's no trash anywhere. There's a dead tree, but it's beautiful. And then it was really funny. These people were pulling this skier, and they were right in front of us, and the people fell off. And I had to like come to a stop right in front of me while this boat turned around and got these kids and put them back on. I don't usually make videos talking videos pointing behind us, but I thought that maybe it was time for a little retrospective. I mean, we left New York and Albany, Troy area right after Zayla and Bree left, which was, I think, on a Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday, the 31st of May. And so we've gone up the Hudson into the Lake Champlain, into the Chambly Canal, into the Richelieu Canal up to St. Lawrence, the St. Lawrence River, down the St. Lawrence to Montreal. I mean, up the St. Lawrence to Montreal, then up the St. Lawrence again to Ottawa, and into the Ottawa Canal, into the Richelieu Canal, all the way down to Kingston, then across the upper portion of Lake Ontario to Trenton, and then up Trenton and through the Trent-Severn Waterway all the way to Lock 45, which we just passed through. So this is sort of the end of that whole, and it took us, you know, I think today's the 20th or the 19th, so that's, you know, somewhere around 6 to 7, 8 weeks, something like that, to make this journey. And we've been through at least 110 or so locks probably, plus the Big Chute, plus 2 of the lift locks at Peterborough and Kirkfield. It's been a journey, and it's all been beautiful. It's had its moments. You know, we went through some very narrow channels and some rocky places and had some rainy days, but overall it's been a real treat. So we're going to Hines Marina today, which is right on the edge of Georgian Bay. So the next step of this is going to be Georgian Bay. No more locks until we get down to Chicago. We're just going to explore the Great Lakes for the next, let's say we got all of August and all of September to get down to Chicago, and we got a week or so here, so that's almost 9 weeks of the Great Lakes, and we're really looking forward to it. Sort of the grind is over, because it was lock after lock after lock after lock, just grinding through them all. It was beautiful, but it was, you know, you couldn't really explore any place because you were just in a channel. You couldn't leave the channel really. So now we're entering out into the Great Lakes, starting after we leave Hines Marina. We're going to stay in Hines Marina a week because we have maintenance issues we have to do. I need to change all the fuel filters and change the oil, and we're going to give the boat a good wash job and get the mustache off of it and get it ready to look pretty as we cruise around Georgian Bay and reprovision the boat, because hopefully we're going to do a lot of anchoring. We're going to tow the dinghy so that we can stop and take dinghy rides in the shallower water and anchor up and fish. So everything's going to change after this weekend at the marina, and I hope you are going to hang in there with us and try to see what we're doing.
So we are out of the Trent-Severn Waterway. I know that Chris just did a sum up of our last 3 months, but I wanted to put my 2 cents in also. I will mention that I am glad we're out of locks for a while. They weren't bad, but we did a lot, and by the end of it I was like, I'm ready to be done with locks for a while. I think my favorite part of our whole time so far in Canada was the Rideau Canal. Orillia Waterway that we went through. I thought it was pretty, it was small, it was quaint. The towns were smaller than the ones on the Trent-Severn. I don't know, there was just something about it. It was very nice. One of the things I think that has made the trip more enjoyable, at least for me, has been traveling with No Agenda and Riker. We have had a great time. We've had cookouts, we've eaten on each other's boats, we've become so close, such very good friends, and I'm just having a great time with them. I know Chris is too, and so that's been a highlight of it. It wasn't really the loop, but it was our loop, I guess. There's been some beautiful, beautiful areas, and I think here at the end of the Trent-Severn was some of the prettiest that we saw. I'm so glad that we went the Champlain route. We kept saying that, and I'm just going to reiterate that we would have never gone to Montreal. We would have never gone to Ottawa. And we did those, and they were wonderful. I'm so glad that we were able to have that experience and to see more of Canada. So it was I'm very glad that we chose that route. We keep saying that we wouldn't have gone that way if the bridge hadn't broken. So I'm glad I'm sad for other people the bridge broke, but I'm glad for us that it forced our hand and we chose a route that turned out to be wonderful. So if you're ever considering doing the Champlain, Richelieu, and then the Rideau, I wholeheartedly recommend it. I wish we had family. Some family was planning to come see us while we were in Canada, and it just didn't ever work out. It never was able to work out. So I wish some other people in the family had been able to share it with us, but I understand. Hopefully seeing the videos is enough. It gives them the feel of it. I am looking forward to being in Georgian Bay, although I think we're kind of in the beginning of it. It's supposed to be just beautiful, and if the last few days are any indicator, then it's going to be spectacular, I think. And again, I'm looking forward to no locks for a while. Thank you so much for sticking with us and watching our videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe and leave comments. We love getting your comments and questions. And hit the like button. I think that helps us too. I'm not sure. And join us next week as we head into our adventure in Georgian Bay.